And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Humankind, where we're just trying to crank out the last of the fame here so that we can then start the final war to become basically prematurely end the game. One way to prematurely end the game is to subjugate all the nations. Of course, you still don't technically win unless you are the fame leader, so that's one of the reasons we're not subjugating the last person yet. Interestingly enough, the person who is actually the fame leader is one of our subjects. So, just subjugating someone does not instantly equate to them not being able to win. Yeah, I think it's time to focus a little bit more on wonders. So 9 turns to get that wonder done with what that currently is. Oh, do we have... None of the coal mine done. Should have the coal mine done first. And you got multiple coal mines, don't you? Yeah. Okay, that'll delay the wonder a little bit, but... in particular, the coal mines are fairly valuable. Assume we have the text associated with it. So steam engine gives you the ability to develop coal, and then electricity, which we do now have, gives plus 10 food, industry, money, and science on coal deposit. So, should be providing a decent amount of food. And of course, those got done real quick. Yes, we're getting 20 food in the coal mines. Military coordination. So that's the upgrade of the barracks in particular, so we can get the units to be even cheaper to build. Although at this point, we've got enough units built that we're not looking to build more units. We're looking to use the units. Oh, and now we've got line infantry, so all the units can now upgrade again. If they're not our knights, they can upgrade again. We can enter a new era, and we're not going to do that yet. We want to pick up more science stars. We want to pick up more builder stars. And we're not ready to research any text from the next era. The main reason you usually error up is so that you can get access to the text from the next era. We're not there yet. Materials procurement. Seize resources or trade resources. Probably trade resources. Resource access required to create wondrous resource
Trading
deposits.
goods tends to lead to trading goodwill, good ideas, and good stories.
And wondrous deposits is a fame bonus. I think it's basically if you have a monopoly on a resource, you can get the monopoly bonus for the resource. I'm quickly doing a quick roll around to see if I actually have, now that I've taken that ability, the monopoly bonus on Or the ability to pick up the monopoly bonus and name the resources. The answer looks like no. I control most of the world, and yet I don't apparently have monopoly on any of the resources. And/or don't know how to make a monopoly. I suppose I might be missing the tech. That's also believable. I'll just check the text we don't have. It's on that one. That tech. This is tech we're working on. Fair enough. Gotta wait a turn. 2 turns. Gotta wait 2 turns. In the meantime, upgrading Jaguar Warriors to, you know, the modern equivalent with guns.
In this room.
Superstition. I will hit play, but not take the science loss there. There's humanism, so now we can check. Can I get any one of those deposits? Yes. Salt. And silk. Remember, each of these are actually 50 fame. So there's 100 fame. Can we get any over here? No. Any here? Yep, there's another 2. So another 100 fame. Roma. None for Roma. None there. Might have a couple here. Yep. Decent number here. So that will help catch us up very rapidly on the fame. We're still 900 behind the leader. We're trying. Maybe not trying hard enough, but trying. Oh, I guess that must have been... we had the luxury resource, but it was not unique. So I was building it in multiple places. That's fair enough. No, those 2 are still there. We'll delay the wonder a bit. Yeah, wasn't unique everywhere. So that one's got them all. That one's the one building the wonder, and that one's got its ones. Got those 2 to build. So it's probably just those 2. Okay. And we might have enough influence. I can grab another wonder, which will help as well. Okay. Yeah. Got a builder star. That's more influence. Got the wonder done.
The Statue
That's
of
more
Liberty
influence.
is a towering symbol of unity and inclusion, and was a most generous gift.
And we can grab another unclaimed wonder. Going to grab the Eiffel Tower. probably is a best place for the city empire. Which if I go look over the entire empire, will probably tell me. There. It's telling me it's there. Okay. $25 turns to get that done. Make that 13. And some other changes have actually saved us a bunch, or made a bunch of food in the capital. So we can get the industry going a little bit faster. Wait a little bit to get the farm done. Food farm in the cycle. So actually, you need the food farm less. Yeah, the food farm less. Okay. Enforce, exempt, assist. Maritime measures. In the Great Maritime City, introduction of standardized units has not been well received. Already mistakes have been made with quantities of materials and engineering calculations. Shipbuilders and merchants alike warn that the commercial interests will be harmed if they're not forced to adopt, if they're forced to adopt the new measures. Should they be given an exemption? So we can lose industry, gain stability, exempt them for money, but chance of bad stuff, or we can assist them. We're going to assist them. Now possess 5 wondrous luxury resources, which is probably helping with our fame, although we're probably the closest we've ever been. We're only 50 off, I'm going to say. Well, 50 to 100. 50 to 100 off from being shared with the fame leader. There's mechanization, which makes all our modern units cheaper to produce. Although we're probably at the point where, if there's not other modifiers making the cost go up, where we're at min cost already. Industry per worker, yeah. Yeah, we'll tire faster. And we're slowly upgrading our existing troops to modern equivalent. Looks like there's no cost decrease for doing it on a more modern unit versus a more out-of-date unit. So regardless of whether it's the Jaguar Warrior or the Arquebuser, all of them are costing the same to become the new unit. The new line infantry.
I'm already angry. Do not drive me to violence.
We're both kind of on that thin line there, where we're both like, yeah, we're thinking about the violence. Oh, and he's got 4 cities. He's just got 4 single province. Well, let's say single province, almost single province cities. Whereas, no, it's, yeah. It's got one little one on the island down here. Population gain. There we go. Make that industry faster, so you can make more industry faster. Yeah, industry faster to make industry faster to make industry faster. Pick up a science star with the next tech. We'll see if that brings us into first or not. If it does, I may be looking to start up a war. Microbiology, that should help with food, or that should help with stability. And, well, and the ability to build more food. We need more food. A science star. We are not in first. We're actually now 400 behind the leader, because apparently the leader probably picked up a star somewhere as well. Slapstick Boulevard, Industry, Science, or no science. So we finished our wonder, so we can claim a new one.
The Eiffel Tower, proof of what you can do with a bit of iron, a bit of math, and thousands of liters of paint. So it's definitely cheaper with them. And we still got surplus. Go ahead and pick it up. You're not actually adjacent to that one, so that one actually has to be this one. And we don't have the influence for that. Although we will soon, probably. And at which point we'll basically have all the territories will be claimed by someone. It's gotta be built on someplace that's got a river. Okay. So, can't be down there, because you've got no river. Okay. More industry to get built faster. Yeah, building the wonder here is, again, still a pretty good way to get fame. Tag you in as well. As well. Then we probably want to backfill some of the science buildings to get science going faster.
agrarian star. I have the ability to build oil, although right now oil has only got a military use. It would be for torpedo boats. And it's a naval military use of that. We've been a full continental force because it's a Pangea map. So if we pick up 5 more sciences, we'll pick up another science star. At which point we're probably in a good place to era up. How many sciences do I have in the queue? 1, 2, 2. 2 in the queue. I'll make it 3, 4. I need a total of 5. So we'll take up guerrilla warfare as well. Oh, guerrilla warfare is a prerequisite we haven't picked up. We'll pick up that prerequisite for it in case we want it later. And then we'll be good to go into the next era. Okay, so if we don't just outright subjugate the person,
Big Ben will
we
give
can
you
go
a
ahead
visible
and annex one of the
official
cities.
correct time. Rather important now that all the clocks of an entire empire need to agree on it.
And we're still in second. Okay. Get the oil wells going. We'll get one train station per location done. $113. Yeah, maybe could have done that earlier. More access to coal. More industry per coal. So, access industry. That's 108 industry anyway. That's not very strong. That one's the weak one. Those. So, that's probably enough for the moment. We're close enough to airing up that I don't necessarily want to claim any more wonders in the current air. No oil here. We'll grab one railroad. And then big science, science, science. Knowing this ability, we could do the hospital. Coal access, the one that gets bonus from coal. Raw industry, and that's the weak one. Yeah. Grab a train. Wants to be there. Science, 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 and really big science. Coal access. Oh, that upgrades the coal itself, so I actually need to build that before the coal one shows up. Okay.
The mark you leave on humankind improves compared to others. You must be doing something right.
And you've got an oil well, so in fact you've got multiple oils. And then where do you want your train station? There, okay. And then after that, science, science, and science. The coal access. Oh, no, that's the one that's based on the coal. Or coal, industry on tile producing industry. Oh, and your access is all Peter, so that we do want that, at least eventually. Oh, you don't even have all of these set up yet. And then you've got an oil, offshore oil, but that counts apparently. And you want a train station somewhere. And then science, science, science. Okay. You got no oil. You're gonna want a train station. Sure. Train station goes there, and then science. Industry. 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 And if you're on science maxing industry, then money max. Okay. Children's rights. Send them to the mines or children education. Probably children education. Although, debating whether we're going to run that right away.
Every culture has its lessons, its traditions, its values. It would be cruel to see them perish. This looks lovely on paper. Let's see how it goes in practice.
Oh, so what I just did here undid all our science stuff, I think. By adopting secularism. Yeah, because we just dropped the state religion. Okay. Another person there, although we need someone on food. Okay. Trench warfare. So some of our
A
units
link
might be
for
upgradable.
commerce and
again.
commuters. With this, the Iron Horse supplants its four-legged predecessor.
We now have railways. And we have now taken spot number 1. So I think it is time to bring about the end of this run. Pictures to inform, of course.
You have built a first rail link between cities. Amazing. But there are no more excuses for being late to work, sadly.
No more excuses for being late to work.
Here? Open the windows.
Windows, are you fully fitted? Close enough.
We have exhausted peaceful.
Oh, these guys have move or attack, so they can either attack or move. Which means the guys that got downhill are in a bit of pickle. In a way, it's actually going to be cheaper for us to probably replace units than upgrade them. Because of all the cost savings that we've got. Okay. So that's the militarist start, which will get us even farther in the lead, keeping us securely in a state where we can keep fighting. We don't have to necessarily be worried about ending the battle. These are all draftees, which are all melee. Yeah, let's just start the assault. Assault begins. It's expected to be quite successful at this point. There we go. City occupied. No units lost in the assault. Well, we got very close. We'll have reinforcements coming into this battle. We might as well start pushing the obsolete units east, so they can be in combat positions. If combat does break out. And then cavalry force. Do I think the cavalry force can successfully land an island? Well, there's one way to find out. Worse than that, the obsolete cavalry force. Do I think the obsolete cavalry force can successfully land on an island? That's probably no. We don't need gladiator units. We're going to gain war support. Oh. One of our subjects declares independence and attempts to delay us. Is what it is, I suppose. Oh, they're throwing in extras as well. It's maybe not the best of reinforcement locations for me. We're literally trickling in. Probably to a losing battle at this point. Although, well, it might not seem like this because we've got lots of obsolete troops. The ability to just replace my combat losses is still probably heavily favoring me. Okay, that battle's over for the turn. Honestly, I think we need another whole company of troops. And that would be 8. That's 3. Five. I have to get all these built, which, again, you're seeing is basically building really fast. Okay. I'll just dump this off the queue for the moment. Back on when I remember. If I remember. Yeah, we get a whole replacement army in 7 turns. Well, these guys apparently each represent 3 guys, so it's... What's the population of the city? 35? Okay, so that'll be 24 people. That'll be annoying, but we can make that work. And that reminds me, we are at war with one of our subjects. That subject. So instead of pushing straight towards fighting Brown, these obsolete reservists have opponent far closer to home to fight. That's probably not the front we want to be attacking the unit from in hindsight. Although looking at this, maybe not a good front. It's probably down there, actually. Or, yeah, no, the good front's down there. Yeah, I don't think that's a good place to be trying to take with horse. Never mind. Realize there'd be a unit that we should probably intercept. We'll entertain. Again, I don't need gladiator units.
No more talk. My armies will speak for me.
Another militarist star. Again, this is helping us get farther and farther ahead with fame, so even though this is fighting is not necessarily all going the way we'd like it, this is productive in a weird way. These are conquistadors, which are obviously the Spanish. 510. That puts them apparently on par with my line troops from the modern era, or from the industrial era. is a little bit of a problem when not able to bring the full force of my force to bear properly. Yep, no, definitely not going the way we want. And then they're attempting to storm the place, and of course we still got the old draftees here. We're trying the best. Yeah, definitely everything's not going exactly my way. Although, again, we're going to be able to field up a bunch of the new, these guys. Piercing gunners, range 7. No, let's move 7. Range 5. 52 attack. Major casualties on enemy formations. Yeah. Oh, there's a bunch of troops that just deployed down there. Not that that's, Well, those are Arca Reserves, so I suppose they could probably fire up, but... That's where they are. This is a big fight. Let's see if they respond to my reinforcements coming up on the rear. that army wants to finish forming up first. So, we still got the battle underway. So that's their unit. It had broken in. That's also their unit that's broken. Okay. Reef forces marching in, although I doubt it's going to get to the city center before they actually breach and lay siege to the town center. Okay, your job, don't die. Jaguar warriors, try to have one last kill before you go. Okay, that's the end of that combat. The bloody affair continues to bleed. Got two fights, just overlapping fights. So many troops going into battle. One of the aesthetic stars has been earned, yeah. New winter can be claimed, which we're not really planning on claiming. Not working the builder. 3 more sciences to go. And then we're gonna air up into the last air. Just realizing... What did I do with the... That's not the army I'm thinking about. Although that's the army I should be thinking about. That's not the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, I don't think this is a great use of the cavalry. Well, granted, the cavalry are... Unless I get the next cavalry upgrade, the cavalry are kind of obsolete. That's kind of what's struggling with cavalry here. Okay, that battle's over for the turn. You're still recruiting up. At this point, we kind of need that recruitment up. This battle is still continuing. Although I think the end of our resistance here is going to happen this turn. Oh, it actually survived another turn. That one survives another turn. Okay, so fights are still ongoing in various theaters. So fight over... Jaguars are being attacked. The obsolete Jaguars are being attacked. Okay. Yeah, that's maybe not a good sign when we're attacking, trying to do defensive operations, and our unit is able to attack themselves into non-existence. Okay. That's not good. Well, at least we're not paying for food for those units anymore. "16 turns. That's a little bit of a problem because I need troops now. Same sort of thing here. I'm going to field up a bunch of these. Okay, so 16 turns there. So we're going to have to do with what we can with what we've got left. Apparently my troops got obsolete when I wasn't paying attention. Well, I say the troops got obsolete. We never got them all the way upgraded. It was the problem with a bunch of them.
I do not live for revenge.
Okay, that fell to rebels, which is not really what we wanted, but that's acceptable for the moment. Another turn. Fight goes on for one more turn. At least it's tying up enemy forces. meantime. Apparently we're stronger, we're weaker than the force we're attacking. Because of all the draftees that would be coming in. Okay. Lay siege. Getting some siege weapons there I think would be useful. Still recruiting here. Max industry, yeah, we'll get them done in 3 turns. I think that was the last charge of those knights. Okay. In tech-wise, again, planning on waiting for more science. One thing I could do is I could air up. Potentially looking for more combat bonuses. 20% more industry on Old City. That would help with... Suppression Ultron. That would help with a bunch of industry, although the emblematic unit wouldn't necessarily help much. Brazilians. Gringle Brigands. Not really what we're looking for. And it's food, which is definitely not the problem we're having. Money, not the problem we're having. Although, well, yeah, definitely not the solution. Influence and free officers. Attacking stronger units. Although, if everything's going according to plan, we're attacking weaker units. So that wouldn't apply. Peacekeepers. War declared on their owner. Okay, well, we get a little bit of a bonus there. Although, they're 57, so they'd still be stronger than everyone we'd be fighting. Influence on territory, 3% per territory, and Japanese make the science cheaper. So that'd be one way if we end up not being able to end this game prematurely via subjugation to keep the speed up. Make a research quarter combo wouldn't be bad. The robotics lab. I think the Japanese do what we want that this nation would do, but better. Food, not really what we want. Multi-role fighter. Defense agency. Artillery, air, or missile strikes on unit. It's a garrison, so we'd have to actually have the unit on the garrison, I think, to get that bonus. Red Army tank. Armored vehicle, immune to suppression. Generates health after battle. Maybe. Minus 60% unit cost, plus 3 strength on a unit. So this would be tempting if we really wanted the strength on a unit. The tank wouldn't necessarily be very bad. Industry, so yeah, I think we'd probably end up going the Japanese. Science and the robotics lab. But I don't feel the advantage in necessarily doing that when we don't have the tech to build. Like, the point to that would be get into the next era, get into the next era techs. A little bit surprised that our infantry are performing as poorly as they're doing, because they are line infantry. I guess they could be using musketeers. They're still in the last era. They should still be limited to the attack of the last era. Unless the first person to get into an era unlocks the attack for everyone. Less sure about that. Although we are in some ways fighting a lot of obsolete units as well. Like, those are conquistadors. So... yeah, those are conquistadors. So that's the emblematic unit. The emblematic unit is basically giving them the unit from the next era. That's one of the things that's kind of been hurting us quite a bit. And then we've been fighting... yeah, those are Arquebusiers. Yeah, we're probably... oh no, those are my Arquebusiers. This is what we're fighting. We're fighting Halberders and Bulgarian Guard and a bunch of Prowlers. Yeah, the best they've been fielding is Arquebusiers, which because they're not that much weaker than line infantry. The line infantry has just got the big advantage that it can move and shoot. Okay, well, looking at the time, I need to put another part break in. We're so close to victory, I just need to end the game. We've done this before. We've ended the game before. But that was when we were on the height of Aztec infantry charging in wholesale. And apparently, our current units are not quite up to that level of snuff. At least not in the quantities we need them to be. I'm not actually too worried about those draftees. Although the siege weapons... do I want to wait 3 turns? This is a trebuchet? Really? We're getting a trebuchet? Okay. We're gonna pick up... we're gonna probably just start that assault, because I don't think waiting for that assault for the trebuchets is gonna help. But if you're watching on YouTube, there'll be another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I need to take a short break. I'll be back to record the next bit in a couple minutes. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.